Hey, welcome to HowToHeaven, and this is going to be one of my short videos. So decided, not everybody wants to watch an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. They want to see a short, sweet, and concise video, and that's what we're doing here today. And we're just going to dissect a clock spring. So here we have a clock spring. It's from a 2003 Toyota Tundra. And if you know anything about clock springs, they're pretty universal as far as like the Toyota series. This will fit 2000 to 2004. Then they did a body style change in 2005, but it's probably kind of the same clock spring. The difference is they went to a two-stage airbag, so you'll see two wires coming out going to the airbag. So we got the clock spring out, and let's take a quick peek and see what we got inside. So what do we have? Here's your clock spring. So you've got right here, there's a connector right here, and this is going to be for your horn, your turn signal, cruise control, steering wheel controls. That's the front plug. The back plug here is going to be for the airbag, and that's going to be a yellow plug. And if you're kind of new to automotive, one thing you should find out is if you got yellow plugs, it's part of the airbag system, so they're trying to warn you. You'll see it on seat belts, you'll see it on seats, you'll see it down here. Anywhere there's the side curtain airbags, anything, airbag is going to be a yellow connector, and that's what you got here. The release for the yellow connector, you kind of slide your screwdriver in like that. It's spring loaded, and then you can pop your airbag connector out. This one here is your typical Toyota plug. You just push it in and pull it out. Same thing with this. You're going to push it in, pull it out. This one I took apart. This one does not come out. They soldered the connections, and that's from the airbag. So the 2004 uses a single stage airbag. The later models use a dual stage airbag. The way you can tell is there's going to be two plugs coming out of this. So always disconnect your battery. And if you want the quick method, what you do is you step on the brakes, turn on the lights, and that'll drain any residual power. You don't have to sit there and wait for 5 or 10 minutes. Just drain the power by turning something on that will draw the power immediately, and then you kind of kill the system. So there's 4 screws. They're Phillips screws. They hold this together. I'm not going to go through how to take this out of your truck. I'm just going to show you the airbag itself. So this is your typical airbag, and what you'll see is it says 5 turns. What that means is it's 5 turns from one end to the other. You go more than 5 turns and you risk breaking the ribbon cable on the inside. So what does that mean? 2.5 to the left, 2.5 to the right. So if you call this midnight here, we go 1, 2, and we get to 2.5. If you keep going, right there is the end of the cable. So we go half turn, 1, 2. Now, same thing on the other side. You go 1, 2, and a half. You go more than that, and you're at the end of the cable. So what is the end of the cable? I'm going to show you that right now. But first, I'm going to explain a little bit more about the airbag itself, the airbag clock spring. So the clock spring controls your turn signal, your horn, your cruise control, and also your steering wheel controls if you're lucky enough to have it. How does it cancel your turn signals? Now that's a good question. There is a switch, and the way it works is this right here, there's a slot, and it's right here, and it's usually keyed on the Toyotas to the steering wheel itself. So there's like an aluminum frame to your steering wheel, and there's one I guess you could call it a protrusion that slides in here, and then there's another one over there. And so that steering wheel is really what is going to be canceling your turn signal. So if you want to take that piece out, you can just do that. And it's just, there's 4 little spring-loaded clips, and then this thing comes out. So once you remove that, you can take your clock spring apart. So let's look and see what's inside the clock spring. Well, lo and behold, it is that ribbon cable. And there it is. It's a double ribbon cable, and it goes all the way around. Let's just kind of pull this thing out. We don't care because this airbag is junk. So what you'll see is the ribbon cables go down here. And what happens is they connect inside of here, one to your airbag connector and one goes to the other switches. Like I said, your horn, your turn signal, that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and remove this piece just so we can get a quick peek inside and see what it is we're dealing with as far as the connectors. So let's keep pulling, and there's that piece again. And what you're going to see though is pretty simple. It is the ribbon cable going to the connectors, and that's pretty much it. So we just do this all the way around, get all these connectors disconnected, and then it should pop out at some point and you can see where it goes. This one keeps snapping on, and let's go, keep going. It's really frustrating. I don't care about this, so I'm going to start snapping these because they just keep snapping back in place. And we don't want that, because we want to see what's inside. And let's keep popping it off. We got another one right here. You're never going to probably do this unless you've managed to break a clock spring and you're trying to put two into one. Highly unlikely. Pull this off. Here's your clock spring. Here's your ribbon cables, and like I said, you can see how they're soldered onto the tabs. One goes to the controller right here, and the other one goes to the airbag. There you have it. And that's all there is to a clock spring. So what happens if you pull the little factory pin out and you lose track of where this goes? You look here, 5 turns. What that means is you should be able to center this. 2.5 to the right, 2.5 to the left. It's actually 2 3/4. And then you just recenter it and slap the whole thing together. It's not rocket science. They want you to think that it's airbag, woo, stay away, it's magic, it's going to blow up in your face. It's not. All right. Thanks for watching How to Heaven, and that's a quick video on what's inside a clock spring. And this applies to not just Toyotas, it applies to Fords, Chevys, BMWs, whatever. They all use the same system. So there's a ribbon cable in there, and it goes left and it goes right, and that's how it works. If you've got an old car, like a classic car that doesn't have an airbag, something else altogether, it's even easier. But this video does not apply. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.